to the latest Access Link presents Mobility Matters webinar series. Today, we are discussing some new initiatives we are working on and eager to offer to our customers. We're focusing on TNCs, Transportation Network Companies, and the IVR. Just a few housekeeping items. We do have two ASL interpreters supporting this event today. If there is anyone that wishes to comment or ask a question using sign language, please put that in the chat and we will make sure to adjust your settings when we reach the comment portion of the event. So welcome Kathy and Stephen. We will also have closed captioning. The recording of the event, the transcript, and this presentation with speaker notes made available to anyone that wants it. Just let us know if you would like to receive a copy, and let's get started. Hello, everyone. I'm your host and moderator and presenter, Namika Parker. I am the Access Link General Manager responsible for paratransit service in New Jersey. For over 2 decades, I have been actively involved in an assortment of functions in passenger transportation. I started my career as a contractor or temp paratransit reservationist and have held several other jobs on the way to GM. I wanted to take a moment to introduce our newest team member, Jahara Pressey. Jahara has been with New Jersey Transit for 10 years. She began her career in municipal government, working in economic development for 7 years before joining New Jersey Transit in 2012 as a business development specialist in the Office of Civil Rights and Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, or DBE division. Utilizing her government experience with her transit knowledge, she joined the government relations team in 2018, which allowed her to work with almost every division at New Jersey Transit. Now joining Access Link as the project manager, she is ready to utilize all her talents and tools in her new role. So welcome to the team again, Jahara. Also supporting today's event, we have Kevin Tomlin, the acting certification specialist, Cornelius Boggs, assistant operations supervisor, and Nathan Cordova, project assistant. Thanks again, everyone. On to today's agenda. We have introductions, an overview, transportation network companies or TNCs, interactive voice response or IVR, and conversational artificial intelligence. And then we'll do a wrap up with some Q&A. Our presenters today are Lauren Williams, the Director of Contract Administration, and I'm covering for Chris Tucker, who is not feeling well today. She's a little under the weather. First, we have Lauren Williams, who has been the Director of Contract Administration since May of 2022. Lauren has been with New Jersey Transit since 2004 and entered this role after 7 years as a Regional Program Administrator with local programs, 2 years with the Office of Civil Rights and Diversity Programs, and 6 years as a certification assistant with Access Link's certification group. Lauren's credentials include an MBA from the University of Phoenix, certification as a transit program administrator, being a CTAA pass trainer, and a strong background in transit programs, regulatory mandates, paratransit compliance, and managing oversight. As director, she is responsible for contract and fleet oversight and administration. So again, unfortunately, Chris Tucker will not be here today as she is a bit under the weather. Get well soon, Chris. She has been with Access Link since 1997. Her credentials include Master of Science in Management and various other certifications related to paratransit eligibility, transportation management, design thinking, and crisis management. As the Director of Access Link Customer Experience, Chris is responsible to engage and inform customers about initiatives and services. She oversees the Access Link certification or eligibility group and customer service and outreach. So here's an overview of Access Link for anyone who is unfamiliar with us and what we do. It's our 30th year anniversary, so yay us. The ADA was passed in 1990. Access Link was established in 1993. We shadow local fixed route bus 3/4 of a mile. You must be certified to use the service. The fare is comparable to our fixed route bus fares. We operate origin to destination service. We consider the whole journey. The service is for people with disabilities that prevent the use of local fixed route bus service. We are comprised of about 8 departments. We cover 6 regions, and we work with 2 contracted service providers. So here's a simple overview of how Access Link plans on utilizing TNCs. We're just now embarking on phase 1, partnering with available TNCs. We will send a few trips to the TNC to relieve the stress on our current Access Link system. Our service providers are onboarding or working with Lyft, Uber, and taxis. We will send out communications to all customers about this program as it develops. If any customer does not want to be included, does not want to participate in this pilot, we ask that the customer, caregiver, or legal guardian call us and let us know. This way, we can update the system to avoid any delays or confusion. Phase 2, we will grow this TNC group to add more providers, giving the customers more options. Phase 3, we are in the process of testing the software that will allow us to create a rider's choice program. So at the point of reservation, the customer would tell us the ride option they prefer. Moving to the next slide, I will turn it over to Lauren Williams to discuss phase 1.
Hi, good morning, everyone. We're going to begin the discussion of transportation network companies, also known as TNCs, as Namika mentioned. This is a supplemental service which is designed to provide an optimal ride experience, minimize onboard time, and assist with the lack of vehicle operators, which is currently a nationwide issue. Access Link service providers will soon be partnering with TNCs this year. The service is to provide optimal ride experience, minimize onboard time, and delays due to lack of operators. Booking your ride is going to stay the same. We will continue to monitor all trips, and we ask that you please stay tuned for additional information as it becomes available. Also, we're encouraging you and recommending to all of our customers that you give us a call to update any of your contact information, as part of our communication efforts will include mail and telephone calls. Next slide. This next slide, we're going to just identify to you the logos of the potential TNC partners. You might be familiar with the Uber and Lyft pictured in the left-hand side of the screen. We also want to mention the 2 newer companies that we're going to be partnering with, which is Via and Serv. Next slide. First, we're going to talk about Via. Via Jersey City launched in February 2020 with a fleet of electric vehicles. Recognizing that the city's central wards are already well served by transit, Via designed an innovative service model. Riders may book trips to or from these wards, but not within them. In September 2020, the service expanded by almost doubling its fleet size to address the growth in demand and social distancing requirements amid the global pandemic. We are currently in talks with Jersey City to allow Jersey City customers to participate in the program. The website is on the slide as well. Please go to ridewithvia.com. if you're interested in learning more about that service. Next slide. We're going to be discussing Userv. Both of our service providers will be partnering with Userv. And there's actually another agency up in Massachusetts, Bay Transit Authority, MBTA, who is currently providing service through Userv as well. And Userv is an on-demand adaptive paratransit TNC company that will begin to provide rides for Access Link service. Next slide. Obviously, with new initiatives comes some change. So there will be some changes, but many things are going to be staying the same, especially during the first phase. So in the first phase, you can expect improved customer experience. You will get communication such as text messages or calls in regards to your trip from that selected provider. You'll also have improved on-time performance as well as reduced ride times. Things also are not going to be changing in the aspects of we are still going to be here for you guys as customers. The availability of the call center and customer service will not change. The TNC operators will be accommodating and supportive. We still expect the customers and operators to follow the guidelines and policies Access Link has in place. Booking your ride will stay the same. The cost of your ride will not change. Whatever your fare is on Access Link, it will be the same fare for the TNC as well. And lastly, our service area will be staying the same. We are in the beginning stages of this initiative, and there will be quite a few changes coming up in the next few months. New Jersey Transit Access Link will continue to provide our customers with information on when the program will begin, in addition to more details on what to expect. Overall, this is a step in the right direction as we continue through this process. The program is going to evolve and enhance each rider's experience. Thank you, and I'll turn it back over to Namika.
All right, thanks, Lauren, for the presentation and the hard work on this pilot. Next, we will discuss our telephone project. Moving to the next slide. So today I'm discussing our project with Replicant, our enhanced IVR or interactive voice response system. So here's a brief description of how basic IVRs work. The customer calls in, it goes to the IVR system, which has a few options or features to help the caller. If the IVR system cannot help the call is sent to a live agent to handle. Currently, our Access Link IVR allows our customers to cancel or check the status of a ride. It allows the caller to input their responses. What's great about Replicant is that the conversational artificial intelligence, or AI, learns from the customer and improves from those interactions. This December, we started enhancing our IVR status and cancel options with Replicant. We are piloting this program now with a small group of customers. We will be adding more testers and then opening it up to all customers. Coming next, we hope to add reservations via the IVR, meaning callers can quickly book a trip to their saved locations with this tool. One main highlight is the program's inclusivity. It can recognize tone and intent. For example, there are over 400 ways a caller can say yes. Replies like, yep, sure, that's right, okay, and many others are recognized. What will change? It will improve the customer experience for sure. It will reduce the telephone hold times. It will enhance the customer's self-service options. What will not change? Again, we will be here for the customers. This is not to replace any people or agents. It is to enhance the customer's self-service options. We will assist and support customers while they try this enhanced self-service option. The feedback has been positive so far. The more the customers use it, the better it gets, which is really key in inclusive technology. The user is always going to be the expert on how to use the tech. Next slide. Final thoughts. On our 30th year of operations, we are stepping our game up. We need customers to update all of their contact information as communication about these and other upcoming programs and changes will be going out as they launch. We want to hear from our customers and other stakeholders. And again, even though Chris is not here, I want to thank her for helping put this presentation together and for spearheading the IVR project and the communication effort. So what's coming up next for us this year? Finally, here are some of our updates. We will be updating our no-show policy. Look for communications about that in the next few weeks. We are upgrading our maps and system. Again, look for more communications about that. I believe we're having an event to discuss the map upgrade. We are going to be ordering new buses. And then we have our customer forums coming this summer. We will be having events, a AM and a PM event in North, Central, and South Jersey. This is our first event in person since 2019. And it will be in person and virtual. We want to keep that flexibility. And recertification for all Access Link customers will be coming up as well. Here is our contact information. So the main number, 973-491-4224. Follow us on Twitter. We have a new Twitter account. Well, it's not new. It's fairly new. We got it in 2020. At NJ Transit _AL. And then the main company website, www.njtransit.com/accessibilities. Then we have My Transit Alerts. If you haven't signed up for those, I highly recommend signing up for those. We send out a lot of information using the alert system. And that's at, again, www.njtransit.com/mytransit. And then, of course, the Access Link online website. And finally, the email. You can email customer service with all questions, comments, inquiries at adaservices@njtransit.com. So thank you. That concludes our presentation for today. We will take any questions, any comments. I'll send it over to our event support team, who will go through the chat for questions and comments. And if you guys can pick out a few questions for the presenters, we'll do our best to answer.
I have a question in the chat box from Linda Rapaki. She asks, what does upgrading your maps mean?
Okay, so upgrading the maps mean that if there have been any bus route changes, any service changes, we'll be incorporating those into our system. So we haven't done it in a while, and we are looking to do that within the next month or so.
Okay, from Pamela Augustin. When will recertification begin and will the requirements be different?
So we are looking to start recertification early next year, but the conversation about what that will look like for the customers will begin this fall, because we like to give you guys a lot of notice and give you a chance to ask questions and prepare.
Andrew Geller asks, is it possible that we can add more locations to the website and app so that we can book more rides online?
Yes. So what we ask is that, so each customer has a finite amount of spaces. I believe it's about 10, 9 from the certification specialist, Mr. Kevin. Outside of that, we have a whole list of common locations. So like your Walmart, your ShopRite, your Aldi's, things like that. What we ask is that the customers tell us those things that they want added to the system. So they don't have to use their 9 spaces. We can just add that to the common location. Huge list. So if you have particular places that you want to go, just give us a call, send us an email. We will add it to our database. Next question.
Great. There was a second part to that question. He also asked, would there be a comment or an other box when reserving a ride so he can add comments such as names to a mall or no blow the horn, no announcement, things like of that nature.
So interestingly enough, Andrew, the box is there. We just did not activate that box. And that is one of the changes that we are looking to do. The trade-off would be for those locations like the airport where we have designated pickup spaces, we would need the customer not to change that because we can only go to that one space. So we're weighing the pros and cons of making that adjustment. But ideally, we want to let the customer be able to use the website and the app freely. So we definitely will take that comment into consideration when we look at how we update our website. So thank you for that.
Brenda asked if we're able to email the slides over to everyone.
Absolutely. With the
Great.
speaker note.
Kathy asked, what info will she need for recertification?
So I believe we're looking to update, what's going on with the customer. So are you still living in the same place? Is your contact information the same? Is your disability, has it progressed, improved? Do you need other accommodations? Things like that. So we're not looking to take certification away from anyone just yet. So we're looking just to make sure we do, it's more like a check-in, an update.
Okay.
Angela would like to know, when will the new pilot program begin, and is it based on county and region?
So we are looking to roll out this first phase of the TNC across all of our service areas. Ideally, we would have wanted to start last year, but we had a couple of delays in some key areas. So we're looking to launch this as soon as we get a final approval for one of the providers and we get a chance to roll out the communication to the customers and the employees. So that's going to take us about 3 to 4 weeks to make sure we update everyone who will be impacted by the change. So, but we will start the communication part right after this event. This was our first introduction to the concept. Angelo? Will we consider, oh, hey, Linda, I see a question. Will we consider adding the 114 bus into the new maps? So we have done an extensive study on what we call the commuter routes, but now over the years, we noticed that they have a lot of local service. So the first thing we're trying to do is make sure we can support that type of expansion because there's a lot of service, particularly in Bergen and Passaic County, that would drastically change our presence in those regions. So Linda, we are looking at it. We are trying to make sure we can, once we do that, that we could support it and it's successful. But at this moment, we are not adding the 114 right now when we do the upgrade. And yes, I do. I agree. It will change everything, that county and region.
There was also a question where will there be options for on-demand trips? For instance, if I need to go somewhere at the last minute and need to book a few minutes in advance or on the spot.
Not yet. That is an aspirational version of the Writer's Choice program. But we would definitely need more providers in this area operating to be able to do on demand because you would have to have an extensive fleet and available drivers to be able to accommodate a instant request or a request within an hour or so. So not yet, but it is on the radar. So, just got to give us some time to get these other versions of this program up and running and successful.
With the addition of these new TNCs, will access link pickup window and drop off window change?
Again, not yet. We're still sticking with the 30-minute window, which is the most that you can have according to the FTA. As many of you remember, a few years ago, I think it was like 2018, we shrunk the window from 20 before and after to just 30 minutes. So we shrunk it by 10 minutes, which doesn't sound like a lot unless you're the one trying to deliver the trip. Like it changed how we did things a little bit. But with these new options, we would be looking to see if that's something that we could adjust, because we are hoping that they'll allow us to look at what we do and how we deliver it and improve for the benefit of the customer. So not yet, not with these first few versions of our efforts with TNCs.
Pamela would like to know, will the TNCs have video monitoring of the interior of the vehicle? Will there be additional screening of the participating drivers as well?
So they do have, and this is one of the reasons why it's taken us so long to implement the TNCs. Other state agencies have been doing this for years. New Jersey, we have a couple of extra, I like to say boxes to check, but extra regulations and things that we have to be considerate of. So they do have to do screenings and checks, and it's a lot of making sure that they're not communicating with our customers unless they're providing our trips. So we have to do a lot of checking, designing, and planning. I will have to check to make sure. I'm not sure if they have video cameras inside the vehicle. Because if you've taken a Lyft or Uber, that is something that's up to the individual operator. Like many of them have that as help with their insurance and things like that. But I don't believe that's a requirement to be a Lyft or Uber driver.
Jeffrey Dennis asks, will customers be able to share their TNC ride with a family member or an aide, or is it only for Access Link customers?
That is a good question. And the same sharing that's allowed on public transit and with Access Link, that would apply to this. So if you book a ride and you're certified to have a personal care attendant, you can have that person ride with you just the same. We just need to know when you're booking your ride that is what's going to happen. And if you, like on a day of service or before, you need to change that, we need to know that you're going to be riding alone. So anything that's going with the trip that we do now, we would be looking to have the same continuity when we start working with these other providers.
Jennifer would like to know what changes are coming to Gloucester County, New Jersey.
I mean, we don't have any specific changes planned for just that one county. These are things that we will be implementing statewide. So with the map upgrade, if over the past 5 years, you've seen a drastic change in the bus route, when we communicate and present this information to the public, you will see that change in our service as well. So it's nothing specifically planned for any one county. Again, these changes that we're implementing or these pilots that we're trying, this is for all Access Link customers throughout the state.
Angela would like to know if clients can choose to participate in this pilot program, or are they chosen?
Well, good question. So we will be opting our customer, we will be rolling this out to every Access Link customer. And what we ask is that if you do not want us to send your trip to any other provider other than us, that you let us know, again, so that we can adjust the system and avoid any confusion or delays. So all they have to do is be an Access Link customer, and we're gonna send them, offer them one of these rides with the TNC, if, on the day of service we need to. Again, all we ask is that if you do not want to participate in this pilot or work with these TNCs, that you let us know, and we will make sure we do not send that provided to you. You will just be an Access Link customer as usual, and no Uber, Lyft, Via, Reserve, or taxi will show up for your trip.
I guess that goes to answer the question for Brenda. For this pilot, are you using Userve as the software provider?
So I'm gonna throw that one over to Lauren.
Can you repeat that? Are we using that as the software provider?
Yes, correct. Userve.
No, we are still going to be utilizing our Trapeze software. Userve is just going to become the provider, one of the TNC providers. And the trips will, dependent on which provider it goes to, then that's the software platform that the trip will be scheduled through. So if it's, the trip is sent to Userve, then the software platform will be distributed to the customer through the platform of Userve. Same thing with Uber and Lyft. The customer will be notified prior to the trip being performed which provider they will be take the trip on. So they'll receive a text message or a phone call from the provider letting them know that your trip will be performed by Userve, Lyft, Uber at the time of, us transferring the trip over to the TNC. I hope I clarified and didn't confuse. Let me know.
No, no, that was good. Nathan, I'll get I think I saw a question about operations. So, Brenda, the max on board time, that depends on the trip. So that one is very specific to the ride, but it should be comparable to what they would have on fixed route is a way that we explain it. And the operations vendors are, no, so we still contract our service to First Transit and Eastern Coach, longtime relationships with both of those providers. And they are going to be subcontracting and working with the TNC. So that is how we're able to be a little more flexible. But no, our vendors haven't changed. We're just working with more providers in these interesting new ways.
Can the client choose a TNC instead of the Access Link bus when scheduling or requesting a ride?
So for the first two phases, no, we will be making that choice because we'll be using best bus or best ride logic. But the ultimate goal of a rider's choice, and then I think someone mentioned on demand, those two versions, the rider would get a choice in Access Link or a different provider. So, and yes, Brenda, Trapeze connects those providers. Yes, they do. I see a
I guess this
question.
question goes hand in hand for Andrew Geller and Melody Bundy.
Mhm.
They're asking pretty much, how can we be sure that TNCs are safe? Some folks are hesitant using Uber or Lyft by
Mhm.
themselves. Will Access Link be monitoring the rides they do for their own service?
So we absolutely, and that was another reason why it's taken us this long. We have been the gatekeeper of that control, who reaches out to the customer, who communicates to our customers. And, we have a laundry list of requirements and standards and metrics. So we will be doing everything within our power to maintain that oversight and that connection with our customers. So while we will be allowing the companies to communicate with the customer directly, we just want to make it streamline that process. We didn't want to have them call us, then call you. We wanted we wanted you to have that experience of these TNCs where it's more technology, quicker and streamlined. But as far as safety, again, they have to meet a lot of standards to work with us. And safety is really important, especially, we're very protective of that process, that interaction between the operator and the customer. So yeah, we will be heavily involved. Sorry sorry to the providers, but we will be heavily involved as that is a top priority for us. And I do see a question here. If the customer opts out, will they have the same level of service? Absolutely. So the goal is not to create any different services. It's really to just allow us to be on time and reduce that ride time for everyone. So if I have an Access Link bus, and instead of us trying to, fill it to capacity with 12 people, because sharing that ride with more people causes those ride times to be a little lengthy. We're gonna spread the trips out over a bigger fleet. So that's the idea, that we spread out the trips, and that way people can get picked up on time and have a reduced ride time. And we've been talking to a lot of peer agencies. And again, the feedback from their programs have been really positive. And the customers, they seem to enjoy the flexibility of working with these TNCs. So yeah, it shouldn't be a different or better. We want to improve the whole service. That's the goal. Yeah, yeah. Andrew, I see your question. Can you try TNCs for a ride and then switch back to just Access Link if you don't like it? Absolutely. You can leave it that you're allowing us to send you a TNC, and then you say, you know what, it's not for me. You call us, let us know. We'll update your settings and we won't send you another one. And Melody, hello, Melody from the NJ Tip cast and crew. Will the operators have additional ADA training? So they already have a foundational level and understanding of ADA that's required. And we hope to kind of infuse and pass on some of our knowledge to them. So there's no definitive enhanced training that will happen, but they already have a foundational amount of training. Now, is it up to par with a paratransit driver? No. Our drivers are highly trained in disability awareness, disability sensitivity. So for that, no. So if you're looking for an Access Link level of ADA training, I can't say yes, but they do have training in that area. And I see Pamela. So yes, the first phase is us just expanding our partnerships and working with TNCs. And again, if the customer does not want us to send them a Uber or Lyft, just let us know. And then, yeah, we will be working towards incorporating a rider's choice type of program. So yeah, for Karen in J Tip Rutgers, hi. Um, again, they are instructed to support and assist the customers that we provide. So that that was another box that we had to make sure they would check. And the fares will be paid with cash or Easy Wallet. We had to make sure we weren't adding any undue burdens to customers by requiring only electronic payment. And that's for these first phase 1 and 2. But for the Rider's Choice program, we will be asking customers to pay electronically. But in the meantime, what we will be doing is working with them to get electronic pay methods. So we'll be helping them figure out how to get a credit card or prepaid card or some way to be able to enjoy that convenience of having electronic payment. But we are very aware that some of our customers do not have bank accounts, are not interested in using electronic payment. But for the Rider's Choice program, that will be electronic payment only. And yes, they'll be able to pay cash. They will be able to pay cash, yes.
Gabby would like to know, she's in a motorized wheelchair, so if she was to join the pilot program, would the program understand that? And if she was sent to Uber or Lyft, would it be wheelchair accessible?
So Gabby, yes. So again, the first 2 versions of this partnership that we're trying to get going with these TNCs, we're not asking the customer at reservation, do you prefer one over the other? We're looking at the trips that come in. We're looking at the trips that we need to provide service using a TNC, and that is the way it'll be going. Now, the customer at that point can say, I don't want that, just send me access link. But for the Rider's Choice program, absolutely. We definitely have been working to make sure that we are offering, that we will be offering equitable service. So you will be accommodated using your motorized wheelchair. And for customers who use a manual wheelchair or who just need that type of vehicle, we will make sure that that is in the fleet mix. So we're not going to leave anyone out.
Jeffrey asked, can you pick just Userve or Via and not Uber or Lyft?
Well, we're actually pursuing partnerships with all 4 because um, Uber and Lyft right now have the biggest footprint in this area. So they have quite a bit of operators and availability, which is extremely helpful when you're trying to spread out the trips and be more flexible and adaptive. Using Uber and Lyft will allow us to get to that on-demand type of service, that adaptability where, if you miss your ride, we can quickly send you another vehicle and not have to, you know, put it on a tour where you might have to wait a little longer. So Uber and Lyft, I know they get a bum rap some places, but they will allow us to be more flexible and responsive to the customer's demand. Well, thank you, Brittany. We appreciate that.
Sonia Reddy is asking about payment options, cash or easy wallet. She usually pays access link drivers with cash, but would credit or debit card be also an option? And also about tipping, how does tips beyond the exact fare for the ride work?
So I will definitely make sure someone reaches out because I believe you can use your credit card as a option. But for these first 2 phases, um, you can either use your Easy Wallet or cash. So you don't have to pay them directly with a credit card. You don't have to set up an account like a regular Lyft, Uber, Via rider. You'll just be paying through Access Link. So if you have Easy Wallet money, the fare will come out of there just like regular. And we are asking that you do not tip the drivers. This is still a part of fixed transit. So like if you get on the fixed route bus, the driver wouldn't be expecting a tip. He would just expect you to pay your fare. And that's the same thing. So
Pamela Augustine asks, when updating contacts, will it be possible for communications on the day of travel to go to a group rather than individual?
If it's a group that we already work with, and we have quite a bit, like maybe like ARC or Easter Seals, then yes. But if it's a group that's new to us, we would ask that you call in so we could have a conversation about expectations, limitations, and what we do and how we communicate. So it is possible, but again, if it's a group that we work with already, easy done. But if it's a new group, yeah, we would need to have a conversation about what kind of communications would be helpful. I think someone said they had a
We're just waiting for a question to come through from Bill Graves. In the meantime, we have Pamela Augustine. When seeking to communicate with a group, who would I want to have a conversation with?
If you could, please email us at the ADA services email, and we will direct your, get some more information and make sure we point you to the right group. It might be scheduling, it might be customer service, it might be operations. So if you could send us the email just with like a little bit of information about the group and what you need from Access Link, we can help you out just to make sure we're giving you the right information.
Ms. Cameron also included a pointer, pretty much just adding that you can update your phone number for your saved rides directly on accesslink.njtransit.com, and you do not have to contact Access Link via phone.
True.
Saved addresses as well.
Yeah. But for our technically challenged folks, if you do need help with that, definitely give us a call and we will help you figure it out and come up with a system and a way to kind of keep track of that. So that is definitely a good tip. And
Bill asked, have any of the routes changed?
yes, we will be communicating that, but for one example, the 507 bus route has changed over the years. There's a couple other more, but I know that one sticks out as one of the ones that had like a really drastic change in where they go. But yeah, some of the routes have changed. Some of the schedules have changed, so that impacts the availability of service for Access Link. So I think we covered all of the questions. If you do think of any other questions or have any other input, we are still in planning phases. We are happy to take all feedback. It makes our plans better. Just send that to, again, the ADA services group. Okay. And let's see. I want to make sure I give you the right email. It's ADA services at njtransit.com. I will put it in the chat as well. And since we have no more questions, I just want to thank Lauren Williams again. I want to thank the support crew, Cornelius, Kevin, and Nathan. And thank you everybody for, taking some time out of your day to come and listen to some of the stuff we're working on. We will be having other programs. Our next webinar will be focused on certification and all of the, I don't want to say features, but all of the privileges that come with being a certified Access Link user and a paratransit customer. And look out for more information about these initiatives that we presented today. I want to thank Stephen and Kathy. This was our first time using virtual interpreters. And it's pretty great. So everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Valentine's Day. And please update that contact information.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Thank you again, Kathy and Stephen.
You're very
Thank-
welcome. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.